One of the questions I'm often asked about new units is, where is the mapping between the new unit and the old one? How do you determine equivalence, and even what does mapping really mean? In the standards for training packages, there is a standard that relates to the training package products policy, and in the products policy there's some information about equivalence. Now, in mapping units of competency, developers must include an equivalence table in their companion volume implementation guide. And that equivalence table has to say whether the unit is equivalent or not equivalent to the sort of nearest possible version that pre-existed. So if it's equivalent, what you're saying is that the old and the new units are equivalent in relation to outcomes. Their outcomes are the same, even though the detail of the way they're written, the templates, the structure of them might be different. But if the outcome is the same, then the units are equivalent. If they're not equivalent, the developer's saying the outcomes are not equivalent. It's not the same as saying that they look exactly the same. If they are saying that they are not equivalent, then they need to provide some further information about, in a sense, how close they are to what existed before. So there has to be a mapping table in the companion volume that gives sufficient information for the RTO to be able to work out to what degree it needs to change things like its learning and assessment resources. Equivalence at the unit level, though, is also made clear in the unit itself. Any equivalent unit will be listed in the unit as part of the template. It's just when there is no equivalent unit that you're really going to need the backup from the companion volume implementation guide to work out what's changed, how it's changed, and what the implications are for RTOs in delivery.